For almost the last 40 years, CASS has been proud to be a partner with our community and with our government agencies and many private sector supporters to build the capacity to better serve the growing homeless community. As Arizona's largest emergency shelter provider, our goal is to help people take the first step and get off the streets.
How do you think families are impacted by homelessness?
See, that's where I get particularly connected to it, because here's how I look at it. So now we're in Arizona, which has one of the nation's worst homelessness crises. I imagine myself being homeless. It's 124 degrees outside, maybe 130 on the pavement. And there I am out there trying to survive, just surviving. I need to get food. I need to get shelter. I need to get water, or I will die.
I was taking care of my mother who had cancer and she passed away. I wasn't on her lease, and so where we were living, they were like, you can't stay here, you have to go. We were going from friends to cars, to friends to van, to friends to van, friends to van.
When I was living at home, my daughter was abusive to me. She, hit me and pushed me down. And that was a good reason for me to get out before it got any more so.
I had just started a new job. My son Isaiah, and he was on his way home and he got hit by a car. It was a hit and run. He was lucky to be alive because he said he either should have been dead or in a coma. And I was just thankful that he was alive. It set me back on the job. I lost the assignment that I had, which I didn't, to me, it wasn't as important as, being there for my son. I was scared that I was going to lose him. I'm hoping that I'm able, to be able to get housing.
The reason why I agreed to be the co-chair is because I am passionate about people living with serious mental illness or substance use disorders.
I wanted to get involved with CASS because in healthcare we see the importance of housing for our patient population. Housing is healthcare. I think that we can do better by our unsheltered population here in Phoenix.
Once you're in here, and with the help, the services that were provided to them, there was such an opportunity to finally actually break out. And I could see it in the faces of the people that were around, that there was so much hope that they were gonna do it. And I felt that inside and realized this is a way out. Because the goal is not to feed or house people, it's to help them so they can feed and house themselves in the future. And I felt that with CASS, especially once we visited that particular shelter.
We got into CASS, and so that's been like the most gigantic weight lifted off my shoulders, just not having to worry about like where we're gonna sleep. My kids, I kind of just put like everything into them.
I packed all my stuff up and I went there, and it was so nice. It was peaceful.
It's changed me as a person because when you have the chance to talk to people who are homeless, whether it's chronically homeless or the first time, you realize the suffering and the humanity of it all.
In the end, it's our community. We live here. These people are part of us. We have to help them.
Since I started working with CASS and learning more about the organization, I think what is important to me and stays with me is about the value of each individual human being.
People are really friendly. I mean, the staff is good. They come in if you need them and stuff.
There are people who care, and there are people who will be there. And if you just, open yourself up and be willing to accept like their help, you'll see that there are angels like everywhere. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
I think that reputation of caring for every single individual, regardless of where they are in their life, is an important one, and we feel that need.
The only place that I know to go is CASS, which is why I support CASS and why I'm asking others to support CASS as well.
So we have built housing and emergency shelter, and then in the last few years, we've really scaled up. We scaled up to 600 beds at our main adult shelter. Our family shelter's been renovated. We opened a navigation center in the city of Glendale in partnership with Glendale. And next, we're going to be opening the CASS Senior Haven, which is 170 beds in a non-congregate closed campus model. And then the year after, we're going to be opening up another 54 beds in transitional housing for people with a serious mental illness. Last year, we helped over 1,250 people get back into housing, or just as importantly, remain housed. It's really an honor and a privilege for us to be able to help them get back on their feet, get back into housing, and that's why we do what we do.
I never would have thought, that there were so many people who would just be so willing to help, and it's definitely amazing.
I think it's up to the rest of us to step in and advocate and provide the care and the housing that they need. No one gets better without a house.
If you want a new family, go to CASS. They're the best option. Totally.